Hi guys, and welcome back to the Dollhouse. I'm Maeve, your Wednesday doll, and this week we are talking about violence against trans women. Now, before we get started with that, I just wanted to say really quick that I am sorry that this is going to be unedited and it will be posted a little bit late. Unfortunately, I just had some stuff happen today and I really didn't have a whole lot of time to get this up, and I wanted to make sure I posted something because I didn't post last week and this topic is very important to me. I'm sorry about the inconsistencies. I'm trying to be better at this. I just have a lot come up that I'm dealing with, and I really hope that you guys understand. So, this week we are talking about violence against trans women, which is actually a very, very, very important topic in our community, if not one of the most important topics in our community. I think the gay community has made great strides in the sense that it has an amazing amount of visibility around it, and a lot of times we are lumped in with them. And that's perfectly fine with me because I do accept that I am a part of the LGBT community, but I definitely don't feel like what happens to them is covered in the same way that's what happens to us. So, for example, there was a gay man, or a gay couple actually, who was assaulted by a number of people in Philadelphia. And that was covered, I feel like, to the extent where there were people who wanted to get involved and help them find their attackers, and people who wanted to get them justice. They wanted them to see justice because they thought it was so ridiculous that that happened. And I think that's absolutely freaking amazing that there were people that got involved, people that were helping, because you really can't count on the cops. I'm sorry, I just feel that way. You really can't count on them for anything. So people got involved and they helped them find the people that did that to them. And I feel like they got some of the justice that they deserved for the situation that they were put in. But when it comes to trans women, I feel like people don't really understand. I feel like people really can't get behind us because they don't understand us. And I feel like that's partially their fault and partially ours. I feel like we need so much more awareness in our community. We need so much more activism revolving around, people and the education of the trans community for society in general, because like I said, people, if they don't understand you, they just don't care. And it's disgusting and pathetic that that's the case. But I think a lot of the times the things I heard growing up when something happened to a trans woman, it was very rare that I heard of it, but usually the consensus was, oh, she was probably trying to trick someone. As if us expressing ourselves in the gender that we feel like we are is offensive enough that we deserve to be killed for tricking people. Like, that's something that's actually come out of several people's mouths in my lifetime that I know of, and definitely that I know just happens on a regular basis. That we were tricking some man, or that, we put ourselves in a situation where we probably deserved it. And that's absolutely disgusting. It's disgusting that that's something that anybody would say. It's disgusting that people think that way. A lot of times I'm just going to the store, or I'm, at some club with my friends, or I'm at some house party and I'll hear somebody say something, and I really have to worry about these things. This is my life. I really have to worry about just going anywhere because it might happen to me. It might happen to any one of us because trans women are that much of an offense to the male ego for the most part, that we just constantly have to be on alert. We constantly have to be worried that we might get beat up or verbally abused or anything might happen to us. And a lot of times when the cops are called, nothing fucking happens. The cops misgender us. The cops disrespect us. They do not support us. They do not take us seriously. They accuse us of being prostitutes. It's fucking ridiculous how much idiocy that we have to deal with when all we want is to walk to the fucking store and get some goddamn milk. Like, it infuriates me that we have to deal with this kind of ridiculous fucking behavior from people in our society. Like, why are we such a problem for you, just us existing? Why? Because you can't explain us to your kids, or because you are attracted to us and you don't know how to rationalize that in your head? That is not our problem. We are human beings just like you are, and we deserve the respect that everyone else does. And it's absolutely ridiculous that we do not get that on a regular basis like everybody else does. And I understand not everybody else does, but the level that we are getting disrespected on a daily basis is absolutely insane. And we don't even feel, or at least I don't, like I can defend myself a lot of the times, because if I say something that is just a snip too much attitude, or maybe I get them, definitely, like I say something to them that just definitely offends them, then there I am, you know, in the type of situation where I might be physically harmed. There's no way for me to rectify the situation myself. I feel like it's something that we really have to work on as a community in order to get people to really start to understand that this is a huge problem for us, especially for trans women of color. And I wanted to make sure to mention that because, you know, I deal with a lot, but I don't deal with half as much as somebody who is a minority inside of a minority inside of a minority. You know, these women do everything to just try and succeed in our world, and everything is stacked against them. And that's how I feel every single day. Everything is stacked against me. And I don't let it stop me. And I know they don't let it stop them either. But when there's a chance that you can be killed just for the type of person that you are, for the way that you were born, even though you don't feel that way, you know, you're just trying to rectify the way that you feel so that you can exist in this world and be a whole person. It's just, it's so insane. And I know this isn't really all that, you know, much of an educational experience or video. It's just my frustrations towards the whole situation and how it's not covered the way it needs to be. I want my sisters who have been murdered or attacked to have justice. There is no place that is safe for us. I've heard people say, well, why don't you just move to a bigger city? A lot of girls do move to bigger cities. Absolutely, they do. They move to San Francisco, they move to LA, they move to New York. But as you will find extremes of people being supportive of you in these cities, you will also find extremes of people not being supportive of you. People who will outright attack you. I've seen beer bottles thrown from cars at gay people, transsexuals, drag queens in San Francisco. So I know for a fact that there is no place that's safe for us. We shouldn't have to relocate in order to live our lives. I think that's absolutely ridiculous. That's even a solution that people are presented. And regardless of whether or not we fool you or you see us as female and feel duped because you find out that we were born genetically male, are you fucking kidding me? Like, no, absolutely not. We are female. We are female. Absolutely female in every single way, whether you think so or not. And there is no reason for us to look for validation from you in that, because we know that. We don't need you to validate that for us. And we don't need you attacking us because you don't understand that. I just feel like, I don't know. And it's just, I feel so helpless because I don't know what to do about it. There's nothing that really can be done beyond, you know, activism and education and making sure that people get us. But it's just, at the end of the day, I know I can't do that alone. I know I don't do enough myself. So I'm not sitting here on a soapbox telling everybody else, you need to be an activist, you need to be an activist, you need to do this or do that. Because definitely don't do enough. But I definitely try to make sure that I discuss this with as many people as I can. It's not a topic that a lot of people want to, you know, be a part of their conversation because it's depressing to hear about people being murdered, people being attacked. And in a space where it's not necessarily, you know, the topic that's been proposed, you know, in a, you know, formal setting where they're talking about this kind of violence, people are very much, you know, not attracted to that type of thing. They just don't want to hear about it. You know, it's very, you know, I don't want to hear it. This is not something that is nice, you know, and it's not nice, but it's still something that you need to hear. It's something that you need to be aware of. So I hope that was good enough. I wanted to express my feelings and just show how passionate I am about this specific topic because it's something I think about on a daily basis. And it's something that everybody should think about because it is a reality. And I feel like the trans movement is the next big movement that we're going to have to deal with. And I'm tired of us getting shoved, you know, behind everybody else and nobody really cares. And I'm tired of it and I want it to be different, and I hope you guys do too, and I hope you guys appreciated this video on some level. It's mostly just me ranting, but I know you guys will understand, especially trans girls who watch this video. I know you'll understand my frustrations, so thank you guys for watching. Like I said, I'll try to be a little bit more consistent, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.